Today we're testing 2 exciting zero net carb tortilla recipes, and this video is sponsored by Ritual, but more about them later. Sarah and I are keto, but we have been dabbling in the carnivore world for a couple of months now with some successes. We've made carnivore breads out of meat. We've made carnivore flatbreads out of meat. We figured tortilla was just the natural next step in this process. Just because you're keto doesn't mean that you can't try a couple of carnivore recipes. It's a great way to avoid some of the higher net carb ingredients in keto, like almond flour and things like that, if you're trying to avoid those types of things. Tortillas are a big part of our diet on keto, and Sarah and I tend to go to easy and the dirty route usually. We like Mission low carb tortillas. I know they can stall your weight loss, they can increase your blood sugar. We try to eat them only once in a while, but it would be really nice to find a carnivore or zero net carb alternative to the dirty stuff that we're used to eating. And Sarah and I have gotten an early start today, which means it's time to take my vitamins, which brings us to Ritual, the sponsor of this video. I absolutely love when a company reaches out to us that we know and love, and we actually use in our day-to-day lives. Sarah has actually been a customer of Ritual for over 2 years and actually turned me on to this brand. This is the Ritual Essential Multivitamin for Women. It's a clinical-backed multivitamin formulated with key high-quality ingredients to help fill common dietary gaps. It's vegan-friendly, non-GMO project-verified, gluten-free, major allergen-free, without extras and artificial colorants. This is designed to support foundational health with key nutrients to support brain health, bone health, blood building, and antioxidant support. Ritual is designed with a delay-release capsule, which means it dissolves later in your small intestines, which is an ideal place to absorb nutrients. And if you don't love your Ritual after 30 days, they'll refund your money, no questions asked. And I would say being keto, we are more conscious about what we're consuming, but every diet has its gaps. Essential for Women 18 Plus is designed to help fill common nutrient gaps with 9 key nutrients in just 2 daily capsules. Plus, it's delivered straight to your door, so you never have to worry about running low. So if you guys are ready to start a ritual that you can feel good about, go to ritual.com/ketotwins20 and use code ketotwins20 to get 20% off your first month. Thanks so much to Ritual for sponsoring a video on our channel, and let's get back to the carnivore tortillas. This tortilla by asheats.com, we're going to be leaving a link to her website in the description below. You can go there and get all of the measurements because we're just going to go through this. Please support the original creator. What I liked about this though is that she says that these tortillas are light, bendy, faintly crispy, and hold together well for tacos, wraps, or whatever. So what you'll be needing for these carnivore tortillas are eggs, pork rinds. We're using pork panko, but you could crush your own if you want to. Grass-fed ghee or butter, sea salt, and water. You're also going to be needing an 8-inch cooking pan and a blender or a food processor. This recipe makes 12 to 15 tortillas, which is a lot. So Sarah and I are going to be just making a smaller portion of these tortillas because I don't want to eat 15 of them. I just want a couple of them. The other thing is that she uses ounces, and Sarah and I are notorious for wanting everything in cups and tablespoons. That must be the American in us. We actually busted out the old scale. Guess what? We've owned one for many years, and today is the first time we actually used it. A lot easier than we thought it was going to be. Yeah. Well, actually, we kind of made a big deal about it up until this point, and so hooray for us. Slow clap. So this recipe seems pretty easy, which we're excited about. If you guys are using pork rinds from a bag, you're going to want to pulverize those pork rinds into fine grounds. We're using pork panko, so it is already that way for us. We're going to be adding the water, eggs, ghee, sea salt, and pork rind powder to a blender or a food processor, and we're going to blend it until it's smooth. Easy so far. I don't like the way it looks. Hey, but you know what? Sometimes we've had recipes on this channel where we didn't like the way it looked, and then it tasted great. We have an 8-inch pan here. We put a little bit of ghee. We have it on medium heat, heating up. She does say to use about 1/4 of the batter to make a single tortilla, so that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to start pouring it in slowly and kind of spread it out. We're going to move the pan to kind of distribute it, and we're going to get to cooking these carnivore tortillas. It's been 6 minutes, and it's starting to look kind of a little bit brown on the edges. We are going to flip this baby.
How long do you cook it on this side?
3 minutes.
Okay.
We're going to be cooking this for about 2 more minutes. And we're going to put them on paper towel to kind of drain the excess. So you're going to want to add more ghee between each tortilla. Just add a little bit in between each one. So they are bendy if you cook them right. We will get to that later, but this one is not that much. This one I kind of sliced with the spatula, but I think it's going to work out great. We're going to move on to our next carnivore tortilla. So if you're not a fan of pork rinds, this recipe might be for you because it's involving chicken. This recipe comes from Lily Kane and it's featured on the Eat Pluck website. We're going to be linking her recipe in the description below. We're going to be tripling her recipe because her recipe, unlike the other one, makes 1 tortilla instead of like 12 or 15. It's very simple and all you're going to need is chicken. We are going to be using canned chicken from Costco because that's what we have on hand and I'm trying to use it up. You're gonna need eggs and some seasoning. That's it. We're gonna add all of those ingredients to a blender and get started blending it up. So for the seasoning, I'm gonna be going in with some Montreal chicken seasoning. It seems like it's a perfect fit. This is for chicken and we're making a chicken tortilla. It has garlic, paprika, onion, other stuff in it. We're gonna be adding 3 tablespoons to our batter.
Teaspoons, right?
Sorry. We're gonna be adding 3 teaspoons to our batter.
Take a gander at it. It's looking pretty much like the other one.
So here's our batter. It's smelling pretty good actually because of all that Italian seasoning. We're gonna be using ghee again in our pan just because they didn't specify a type of cooking oil, if you will. So we're just gonna use ghee since we have it out. We're gonna be heating up our pan on a low to medium heat and we're gonna be using 1/4 of a cup of batter to make our tortillas. The cook time was only a minute in comparison to the 7 apparently of the other tortilla. So we're just gonna keep an eye on it. We don't wanna make them too overcooked or too hard because they might crack in half. So we're gonna like test it and see how it's cooking and not try to overcook these tortillas. Smells like chicken. It's a pancake. Okay. I'm gonna cook this for about 2 or 3 minutes on each side. Then we're gonna assemble our roast beef sandwiches. I don't know why I picked roast beef. It was just looking good. And then we're gonna go downstairs and we're gonna try it. So here we have our carnivore tortillas. They look interesting. The pork rind tortilla is definitely thinner than the chicken one, I would
used
say.
a lot more water in that recipe. I think that the water could actually benefit that recipe.
That's a good idea.
Because it is very thick, but maybe it'll taste good. Who knows? We actually cooked these 3 different tortillas at 3 different temperatures and they turned out 3 different ways. Okay?
It's the first one.
It's the first one that we did. We might have cooked it on too high of heat, but you can still see it's pretty pliable, but it's also kind of crunchy a little bit. You know, maybe you could cook these and make them into chips.
Good idea.
Cook them even more and make them into chips. Cut them up. This one is actually a very nice consistency. It's very soft and pliable.
But stays together.
Right. This one actually has better integrity than this one, but it was too small to make a sandwich out of. Maybe tacos. This one is the one that we ended up going with, and it was actually, we used about 1/4 cup plus 1/2 of 1/4 cup. So it's like 1/4 of a cup plus 2 tablespoons of mixture created this decently sized wrap.
If you want to make it a wrap, you're going to need to make it way bigger.
Right.
Maybe use like a 12-inch pan.
I think so.
10-inch. I don't know how big a bigger one is, but
A 12-inch pan, I think.
12-inch pan should, you know, formulate a tortilla that is wrappable.
But it looks actually like it's holding up pretty well.
Yeah.
So we'll just try a little bit of the
Actual tortilla.
Yeah. If you don't like the taste of pork rinds, you might want to add some flavoring into it. But it's pretty good, actually. It's like cold when it's cold. It's like it cools down, kind of like how an egg wrap would
Right.
be. You know what I mean?
Similar consistency.
A flour tortilla does not get cold to the touch, typically.
Right.
At room temperature. But this does, because there's like moisture in it
Yeah.
or something. These are very pliable and very good for wrapping things. You just have to make sure to make them big enough. Duh.
We're going to try it now in a sandwich application. Pretty neutral tasting.
Right. Very good.
So what we decided to go with our sandwich was roast beef, lettuce, tomato, provolone, and we decided to make a little horseradish mayo sauce to go on top.
I'm here for it.
Emily thought maybe I was putting too much horseradish in it. What do you think?
No.
Not at all?
Very good, though. I like it.
I would make that again. Now that we know like the cooking temperature that we have to aim for, I think it's going to be way easier to make these in the future. Not sure if they freeze well. I would think if you're making 12 to 15, you would hope to freeze them though.
Yeah.
Because the recipe calls for 12 to 15 tortillas. So here we have the chicken tortilla.
It's way thicker. Probably.
Almost pancake-like.
Yeah.
The smell is nice. Kind of smells like a chicken nugget.
Yeah. I was telling Sarah it kind of smells like a chicken biscuit because we put that Montreal chicken seasoning in there and then you have the chicken.
I actually really like the brown parts.
To me, I feel like it's a different texture altogether than the pork rind tortilla. This is heavy. If you eat this, you won't eat for the next 12 hours minimum. It's heavy.
A lot of protein.
A lot of protein. And then we added all kinds of stuff in there.
I was the one that you said, do you want to just try it by itself? No. We'd make a sandwich out of it.
Look how thick that is. And then look at how thin these are. For different needs. I mean, if you want to eat like there's no tomorrow or...
No, this will fill you up. This is a good one meal of the day. It's going to make you really full.
I like the flavor. Mm-hmm. I like the seasoning inside. The texture is good. I like one better.
You do? Which one?
I think this one.
I like the flavor of this better.
Right. But maybe the flavor is coming from the seasoning. What if you...
No, maybe chicken is less potent than pork rinds. Mm-hmm. No. It's more of a neutral flavor. Mm-hmm. What if we added water to this batter? I wonder if it would make it thinner like that.
Yeah, probably.
Liquid
you add
ratio.
The same liquid ratio to it. It will probably make it as similar to that. You're just using a different protein, really.
So if you like this type of content, please give this video a like and don't forget to subscribe. We would love to hit 250,000 subscribers, and it really means a lot to us every time you guys subscribe, so thank you.
It's free.
It is free.
It is just clicking a button.
$0. And don't forget to visit ritual.com/ketotwins20 to get 20% off your first month. And if you guys want to see us make other trending keto tortilla recipes, you can click on the video on the screen and we'll see you over there. Anyway, I'm Sarah.
And I'm Emily.
And we are the Keto Twins signing out.